I had just bought the land. 40 acres of open space, far from everything crowded and noisy, standing there with the papers in my hand. I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Real peace, and full control over my own space. The air felt different out there. No traffic, no constant noise. No one watching what I was doing, just opened land stretching in every direction. It was exactly what I had been looking for. I started walking across the property, taking it all in. Every step reminded me why I made this decision. No restrictions, no pressure. Just a clean start. But that quiet didn't last long. Later that day, I noticed someone standing near the fence line, a woman in a red blazer, holding a clipboard already pointing toward my land, like she had something to say. I walked over calmly and stopped at the fence. We spoke from a distance. She explained her concerns, talking about how things should be handled. I listened without interrupting, letting her finish. When she pointed at her papers, I didn't react. I simply reached into my hand and showed her mine. Clear, simple, and easy to understand. Everything already explained, without confusion. She took a closer look. Her expression changed slightly as she read through it. The confidence in her tone softened. She realized things weren't exactly how she assumed. I stayed relaxed near the fence. There was no need to argue or explain too much. Sometimes the simplest answer is already enough, and this was one of those times. Still, I knew situations like this could come back again. So instead of waiting, I decided to make things even clearer. A simple solution, something that would avoid confusion in the future. I had a gate installed at the entrance, nothing over the top, just practical and clean. A clear point of entry, easy to understand for anyone. Simple, but effective. When it was finished, the whole place felt complete. The land looked organized. Everything had its place and everything made sense. The next day, when she came back, this time she stood outside the gate, not rushing into anything, just looking at it quietly, taking in the change. We spoke again, but the tone was different, steady, and simple. No pressure from either side, just a normal conversation. She checked her papers, again going through each detail slowly, making sure everything lined up this time. She wasn't assuming anything. I leaned lightly near the gate, relaxed. There was nothing left to prove. Everything was already clear. Right in front of us, the others who came with her stayed quiet, just observing the situation. No reactions, no interruptions, just watching how things unfolded. Her posture changed as she stood there, less tension, more calm. She wasn't reacting anymore. She was understanding. The sign on the gate made everything even simpler, clear and direct. No confusion. Anyone could see it and understand immediately. No extra explanation needed. Some people nearby had started noticing too, watching from a distance, curious, but respectful. No one stepped in. She stepped aside and made a phone call. Her voice was calm and steady, asking questions, confirming details, taking her time with it. I stayed near the gate with a cup in my hand. No stress, no urgency. Just letting things move naturally. The calm felt right. After a while, she came back, gave a small nod. No long discussion this time. Everything had already been understood. She turned and walked back toward her car, slow, steady steps, no tension left in her movement. Just a quiet exit. I stood there watching for a moment. The road became empty. Again the air felt still. Everything was back to normal. The next morning, I stepped outside again. Same open space. Same quiet surroundings. Nothing had changed, and that was the best part. Later, a delivery arrived at the entrance. The driver stopped at the gate, unsure at first. But everything was clear. It was easy to understand what to do. The entry system worked smoothly, quick, simple, and organized. No confusion at all. Just a clean process. The gate opened and closed, without any issues. Everything functioned exactly as planned. Simple systems always work best, and this proved it. From a distance, she showed up again. Not close this time, just observing quietly, taking it all in without stepping forward. I continued with my day as usual, walking along the land, checking things here and there. Everything was in place exactly how I wanted it. She stood near her car, looking at her papers again, going through them slowly, making sure everything matched. No rush this time. When we spoke again, it was simple. I showed her everything one more time, clear and easy to follow. Nothing complicated. She stayed quiet while looking at it, taking her time to understand. No quick reactions anymore, just careful attention. I didn't say much. There was no need to. Everything was already clear and she could see that. Now. The others nearby just observed, quiet and neutral. No interruptions at all. Just watching the moment. Her reaction softened even more. No tension left. No tension left. Everything felt settled, clear and understood. Moment stayed quiet. No back and forth anymore. Both sides knew where things stood, and that was enough. She stepped back slowly from the gate. No more questions. No more discussion needed. Just a calm ending. She walked toward her car at a normal pace. No rush, no frustration, just moving on, leaving things as they were. Before getting in, she paused, looked back one last time, not with concern, but with understanding. Then she got into the car, closed the door, quietly. No words left to say. Everything had already been resolved. The car drove down the road, slowly, getting smaller in the distance, until it disappeared completely and everything went quiet again. I stood near the gate for a moment, taking a deep breath. Everything felt settled. Back to how it should be. Then I turned and walked back toward the house. Across the open land, no stress, no thoughts, just a simple walk. Looking around, everything felt right. The space, the balance, the quiet, nothing needed to change. It was already complete. I stood there for a moment longer, taking it all in. Clear space, clear mind. Nothing else needed. As the sun started to set, warm light spread across the land. Everything slowed down naturally. A perfect end to the day. And just like that, everything stayed peaceful. Simple, clear, and steady. Exactly how I wanted it. If you enjoyed this story, like, subscribe, and let me know where you're watching from.